Hi, Pastor Charlie here for New Hope Lutheran Church. Welcome to Pastor Charlie's Toolbox. So my problem this week is that my battery went on this four-wheeler. It won't hold the charge and it needs to be changed. So the first thing I have to do is take the old battery out so I can exchange it for a new one. And the way we start with that is by finding out where the battery is. Now, fortunately on a lot of these machines you find it under the seat. So the first thing to do is figure out, how do I take the seat off? Luckily there's a big lever here. And there. The whole seat comes off. And I see the carburetor, I see the air cleaner here. And back there, there's the battery. Still kind of a cover, covering half of it though. So we'll get that off. It's a little tricky to get out of there. And I got my wrenches here ready, and we're going to start first of all by disconnecting the wires. And we'll start by taking the red one off, because that's the live wire. And you really don't want to have a show of sparks going on. So we'll just get the wrench on that. Until that all comes off of there. There. Okay. Set that aside very carefully, and then we'll take the black one off. So again, we just take this socket and loosen that off. This one's a little bit tougher. Almost there, but not quite. Wow, I may need to go for one of these wrenches, finish it off. You know, you think this is going to go real fast, and then it doesn't. There we go. Now we can move the black wires out of the way. And what holds the battery in there is there's this strap that goes across it, and it's a rubber strap, and it needs to come off. There we go. And then we should be able to just pull it right out of there. Nobody said it was easy. It's not that it's tight in there, it's just there's not a lot of space to get your fingers in there. There we go. And that's it. That's all it is. This little battery is the whole deal. So, got it done. You know, there are a lot of things that make a machine like this work so that you can drive it. But do you know what the most important thing needed to use this machine? What's most important? Well, some might say, oh, it's the battery because it won't start without it. Some might say it's the fuel, or it's the oil, or it's the spark plug because, well, the machine won't go far without those things either. But to my mind, at least, the most important thing for this machine to work is that it needs a driver. It needs someone who knows how to make it run and can drive it safely. I mean, without someone to drive it, what is the point of even having something like this? It can be mechanically perfect, but it isn't very useful for anything except maybe a living room conversation piece without someone who can use it. And that all brings us to the question of, what drives you? Or to put it another way, what is the most important thing in your life? A lot of people are driven by things that have some importance, but they really aren't the most important in bringing us the perfection we're all looking for. We may be driven by trying to make a lot of money, or by having a fabulous home, or to have a fantastic vacation, or even having a better weekend than the last outrageously fun weekend. But are these the things that make us truly happy with our lives? Are these the things that give us some real meaning and purpose? To me, those things are kind of like a battery, or fuel, or oil, or spark plugs on a machine like this. They're important for the machine to run, and you need them for the machine to run, but you know what? They aren't the most important. It's what drives it that's most important. The person who drives it. Now, in our lesson for today from John 2, which is right there, we find Jesus is rather upset with people who have lost sight of what should be most important in life, and that is our relationship to God. In that lesson, those people who were conducting business right in God's temple were more focused on their making a good living than being in a good relationship with God. And as Jesus saw it, they were trading off a good living for eternal living. If you find that a little confusing, think of it like being attacked by a wolf pack in your front yard. Now, if a pack of wolves attacks you, are you going to run from them to safety in the house? Or are you going to get out your phone so you can take a real sweet video of them attacking you and have a great post for your social media? On the one side, you may get a lot of likes, but they won't really do you a lot of good if you aren't around to enjoy them. Making a good relationship with God your first priority, it isn't an outrageously difficult process, although it can mean living our lives in a certain way. So if you are finding yourself unfulfilled or unsure or wondering just what you are doing on earth, maybe it's time to start thinking about who or what you have made most important in your life. You may want to consider where God fits in or how God fits into your life, and in doing so, perhaps make that relationship more important. God has a way of recharging our outlook on life, a way of bringing us purpose, meaning, and being a driver of lives that are deeply fulfilling.